What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another week of Nick's Picks. We are on week 6 of the 2020 NFL season, and as I've been joined by with the last 5 weeks, that was horrible grammar. I'm joined once again by Ben. Ben, how you doing?
Woo! Dan Quinn is no longer the coach of the Falcons. Woo! There is a God. Sorry, I that probably like flipped on the mic, and honestly, I do not effing care. I'll censor myself at least a little there. Now there's only one head coach that still remains.
Which,
I don't know what
how
I get
the
into.
fuck? I'm not even going to censor myself. How the fuck does Le'Veon Bell get fired before Adam Gase? All right, so
All right, back to the games.
the score is currently 50-48. Ben caught up that point again, so I'm only up by 2 now. We do not have a Thursday night game this week. Instead, we have 2 Monday night games. So we will be starting straight with a 1 o'clock Sunday game, and why not start with my team? The New York Giants going up against the Washington football team. The battle of the 2 worst teams in the NFC East. I mean, I guess any battle of NFC East matchups is between 2 worst teams.
I'm pretty sure all 4 of them are pretty bad.
But the Giants, to me, they did play fairly well against the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys have sucked this year too, but the Giants weren't even supposed to come close to the Cowboys, and their offense played pretty well. Their defense had a lot of bright moments, but kind of gave it up there at the end, and the Giants just kind of lost that game at the end against the Cowboys. Washington really has had no bright spots this year other than week 1 against Philly. But like they get rid of Dwayne Haskins, or if they haven't gotten rid of him yet, they literally told him to stay home last week. So if that doesn't show what how Washington's running yet, I really don't even know what does. So I think this is a pretty obvious pick. I'll keep it close just because you never know with the Giants, like they could blow this thing completely. But 31-27 is my score for this game. Does it really matter who wins, though?
I know what did I say, 10-9 Giants over Cowboys, because I thought both were trash. We'll get to obviously the big news with Dallas when we get to the Dallas game. We're not going to avoid that, obviously. But I do want to talk about one good news when it comes to Washington is that Alex Smith, for all that he's been through the last 2 years from that injury, coming back and at least doing solid, especially against the Rams with Aaron Donald. Like, imagine that. You come back from a gruesome injury, and then your coach is like, hey, how'd you feel going against Aaron Donald with our terrible offensive line? So, like, there's some positives in Washington. Not enough, though, for me to pick them. I got the win in a close game because, honestly, both these teams are terrible. The score doesn't dictate how good these offenses are, just really dictates how bad both of them are, in my opinion. I got the Giants winning, though, 27-24. Really close, but it's because these are, honestly, this is about the NFC least. That's all you got to say.
Okay, so after Derrick Henry absolutely launched Josh Norman into another dimension, now he's got to play the Houston Texans.
Can we just take a moment? Because Derrick Henry is the only running back, I think, at least in my recent memory, that can turn a defender into a lead blocker or just a ragdoll.
The fact that there's like a compilation video of him launching defenders says enough. But he's going up against the Texans, the Bill O'Brien-less Texans, for the second week in a row. They got their first win without him, which I think is amazing. I don't think they win this week, though. I think Tennessee's just playing really good football. And first of all, Tannehill, you need to chill before you hurt yourself. I don't know if you know what play I'm talking about, but he did like a little basketball kind of like jump shot or whatever when he scored a touchdown. Literally looked like he almost hyperextended his knee. So please, Ryan Tannehill, don't ever do that again. Regardless, I do think Tennessee is going to win this game 28-24 over the Texans, just because, look, Tennessee's playing really good football, and I know Houston got rid of Bill O'Brien, and that really might turn this team around, but there's still just not quite enough talent on this Texans team to compete with the Titans in this division.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, obviously, I say Derrick Henry's the second best, but, you could argue he's the best since, obviously, Chris McCaffrey, he might be back this week. I'm not 100% certain on that, but Derrick Henry is playing like one of the top backs in the league from last year. I got the Tennessee Titans winning this one 28-17 just because I think the talent level between the two teams is too different. Deshaun Watson can't do everything by himself. Like, he has to have at least someone dependable. Cough, cough, DeAndre Hopkins. Sorry, Texans fans, but At the end of the day, Houston doesn't have enough to salvage their season, even though they did fire Bill O'Brien.
Okay, so the Indianapolis Colts go up against their second AFC North team in a row. This time it's against the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like they'll do a lot better in this game than they did against the Browns. Colts are just one of those teams, middle of the pack. Like, you know, I can see them making the playoffs. I can see them missing the playoffs. I really don't have much to say about the Colts. I don't think Phil Rivers made them a whole much better team than Jacoby Brissett made them. There's still some work to be done with this Colts team, but the Bengals have a lot of work to get done. I do enjoy watching Joe Burrow play, and I'd like to see what he does when he has a team around him. However, it does seem like very soon he's going to be losing A.J. Green, as there was a video of on the sideline where A.J. Green looked like he was saying, just trade me, to one of his coaches. So
he also, after a pick, looked like he wanted to block his own teammates. So I think A.J. Green wants to get out of there. There hasn't been a solid report as of yet.
I'm surprised he didn't get out of here sooner. Either way, A.J. Green is out. He's either going to get traded or released sometime in the next couple weeks. But with or without A.J. Green, I think the Colts win this game 27-14 over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow, we actually have a very, very close score in this one. I agree with you, all the same reasons. I think Indianapolis I think they're a playoff team. I think they'll be the wild card team. They'll be second behind Tennessee. I think they might be able to compete for the division title against Tennessee, but I just don't think they have enough compared to Tennessee at the end of the day. But I do think they could make the playoffs, because even though I don't think Philip Rivers is going to be, at least as of right now, because he's much older, obviously, I don't think he's a quarterback that can help you win a title, like win a championship, but it also, like, wouldn't surprise me at the end of the day. I do have Indy beating Cincinnati 24-14, but that's really all I got when it comes to that.
All right, so between these two teams, there is a grand total of a whopping 1 win between these two teams. That's kind of
if I told you
ridiculous
in this matchup that there'd be a total of 1 win between these two teams, I think you would have called me crazy.
Either way, for me, I do think this is a very even matchup. I think you have a pretty good defense going up against a pretty good offense, and then when you turn it to the other side of the ball, Minnesota's offense is not great at all, and Atlanta's defense is not great at all. So I think this might end up being kind of like the Dallas and the Giants game, where it really could go either way, and it's going to come down to who's going to have the ball at the last possession. For me, I do think Minnesota does have the edge here, because I think they have a lot less problems than Atlanta has, and Atlanta is going to be dealing with a new coach this week, a new system, or maybe not a new system, but a new face in the locker room. So I think it's going to hurt. I don't think it's going to have quite the same impact as Bill O'Brien leaving did on the Texans, but I do think this one is going to stay close. I think the Vikings get this win 28-27 over the Atlanta Falcons, just because they end up having the ball last.
There's so much in me that I really want to pick Atlanta. Like, I really do. Like, it hurts me, not really, but it kind of hurts me to root against them. Minnesota is in, like, that weird area where, like, Atlanta should be better than them, but at the end of the day, I think they're not going to be better than them. Overall, Atlanta's offense is better than the Vikings' defense, but Atlanta's defense, I don't know if it's dead last or second to last or wherever it is, honestly, but it doesn't really matter, because looking at the tape, I watched Atlanta's defense and it just looks so bad. And because of that, I got Minnesota winning this one 32-21 over Atlanta, just because it has nothing to do with me believing in Minnesota. It's because Atlanta's defense is just so bad. Like, it's just really bad.
Okay, so this game was supposed to be played last week. If you really, really want to know like what me and Ben said about this week, go check out my last video, the Week 5 picks. But I'm just gonna give you our scores real quick. Ben's score was 24-10. My score was 17-14. Both of us having the Patriots beating the Broncos. Okay, the Battle of the Birds. Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Baltimore Ravens. And this isn't much of a battle to me. I do think it's going to stay close, because Philly has kind of the same tendency as Dallas to play to the other team's level. So, their one win that they had against the 49ers, they played really well. Last week, they played against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they also played really well. If it wasn't for 4 touchdowns by the Steelers rookie receiver, I think Philly would have had that game. But the Philadelphia Eagles do have that tendency to play to the other team's level. So I do think that they play to Baltimore's level this week, but I don't think they get the job done, just because Baltimore is just super talented. I do have the Ravens winning this one 33-31. I mean, I could see it being a blowout. I could see it being that close. And I can even see the Eagles actually upsetting the Ravens on this one. But just, gut feeling, the eye test, everything says pick the Ravens. So that's what I went with. And I don't like the Eagles anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm not even going to come close to that. Philly, I've beaten this like a dead horse when it comes to Carson Wentz, so I won't say anymore. Everyone knows how I feel about Carson Wentz and the Eagles as a whole when it comes to his treatment and how they feel about him. I have no questions. I have way more questions about Philly than I have about Baltimore. Yes, I have a question about Baltimore when it comes to Lamar passing ability and more so just him being a better thrower and better consistently, but that's the only question mark I have. I have no question marks about their defense. There's too many questions about Philadelphia. I got Baltimore winning this one 30-17. Not really close because I think, again, talent-wise, Baltimore is just far better than Philadelphia.
All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Cleveland Browns. And the Cleveland's one of those teams where they're 4-1. So you ask that question, is Cleveland good or have they just played a bunch of shit teams this year? To me, they've just played a bunch of shit teams this year. I mean, come on. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, Pittsburgh's proving that they are a lot better than I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. Especially that defense. They have a very young, talented defense. And I think that is going to cause Baker Mayfield and this offense a whole lot of problems. But I do think Pittsburgh goes on to win this game 38-28. And I think this is where you start to really see the true side of the Browns and, how beating a lot of lower tier teams doesn't mean that their 4-1 record makes them good.
I'll make it out there. I mean, obviously I'm a Falcon fan. I was very close to being a Browns fan when it comes to, because I still like Baker Mayfield. I think does he deserve some to hate? Yes, because he does things that I wouldn't want, especially from someone that hasn't won anything. He just came in as a rookie, talking a lot of talk, and I don't like that personally, and I'm not gonna be a hypocrite when it comes to that. But I do think that this game is pivotal in the sense I think this game will decide who's second to Baltimore. Because I do think Baltimore's going to win the division. I think this game proves who between Pittsburgh and Cleveland is the second best team. I think we can both agree that Cincinnati is the worst team in that division.
Well, yeah.
I think that's not even a conversation. I, however, have Cleveland winning a very close game, only by 3 points. I got Cleveland winning this one 24-21 in a close game. I do think I don't know when they play again in the season, but I think this game is going to be a very, very good game. Just because I think if Cleveland can win this game, which I think they have the talent to do, it'll show that they are not just they can actually beat quality teams. Because Pittsburgh is a very good quality team.
I'm pretty sure I have not picked Chicago once this year, and if I have, I don't remember which game it was. And they're 4-1, meaning I have lost a good deal of points on not picking the Chicago Bears. So I'm going to give them a chance this week. Now, Carolina, still without Christian McCaffrey, but has been playing fairly well these last couple weeks. But look, I've just lost way too many points on the Chicago Bears this year. I guess they're better than we thought they were going to be. Now that they have Nick Foles at quarterback, they seem to be doing better. I think that defense is really carrying that team, though, if we're being completely honest. I'm going to give them the benefit of me picking them, which means absolutely nothing to the Chicago Bears organization. But you know what? I feel like it does. I have the Chicago Bears winning this one 27-24 over the Carolina Panthers.
Chicago is this weird team where it's like they have a good record and they're not really playing bad teams, but they're not playing great teams. It's kind of like middle of the pack kind of thing. But they've won convincingly in a lot of games this season. Obviously, it'd be better if they had Christian McCaffrey, and he might be in this game. He might not be in this game. It wouldn't really change that much, in my opinion, as far as maybe the score. But I got Chicago. I got Chicago winning this one 20-17 over Carolina in a very close game because I feel more confident in Chicago's defense than anything else.
I don't even know what to say about this game, really. Detroit has had a couple surprising games this year. They've beaten some teams that they probably shouldn't have beaten, like the Cardinals, for example. But then they go the next week and get themselves a 14-point lead and pull out Atlanta Falcons on us. So I don't know what to make of Detroit. Jacksonville, they started off the season hot and then turned into the Jacksonville Jaguars that we all thought they would be this year. 21-20 is my score for this one.
I'm with you. I mean, these two teams, I started the season off week 1 saying how I thought Detroit was going to be solid. I thought they'd be better than their record is, and I give them the benefit of the doubt because they have played good teams. You know, they played Chicago. They basically played two games in the division. They played the Bears and they played the Packers. They played the Saints. Those are the teams that they've lost to. But I do think that they're better than Jacksonville because other than Gardner Minshew, I really don't know anyone on top of my head in Jacksonville. Like, I really honestly don't. It's not even trying to, like, I just generally do not know anyone.
They traded everyone away, so.
Yeah, they basically traded everyone away. So, like, you would think that, like, they'd be tanking more. Yeah, they got one win in week 1 against Indy. Woo, woohoo. Yeah, they're still Jacksonville at the end of the day. So I got Detroit winning this one 27-17 just because I think they're better than them and they're better than their record shows. Do I think they're that much better to make a playoff spot? No, but I do think they're at least better than Jacksonville this week.
If the Jets were the best team in the league, I still wouldn't pick them in this game because where the fuck did Miami come from and just decide, I'm going to beat the shit out of the 49ers just for the hell of it? Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick is like 100 years old, and he puts up almost 400 yards on San Fran's defense, which just last year was the best defense in the league by a mile. Even if the Jets weren't the worst team in the league, which they are, Miami's winning this one 31-10. Like, it's probably even going to be more than that.
Yeah, I just looked at the score. Yeah, Miami won 43-17.
43.
Let me reiterate. 43-17 against the former NFC champs. I went to grab dinner or whatever because I didn't care for the 4:00 games in all honesty. After Atlanta got their butt kicked, I didn't care anymore at that point. And I looked at halftime. It was like 30-7. I was like, what is this game? And now they're playing the worst team in the entire league. I got Miami winning this one 30-14. Not even close because, well, they actually decided to play football. When Miami decides to play football. Now, watch, we both be wrong, and then the Jets.
Yeah, watch the Jets actually win this game.
Watch the Jets blow. Which wouldn't surprise
me. I'd be pissed, honestly.
Miami.
Beyond the Chiefs playing the Bills, which we'll get to later, this is probably the best game of the week between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Now, you could argue that the Green Bay Packers right now are the best team in the NFL. Now, I mean, you'd probably still say most talented would be Kansas City or Baltimore or, even maybe Tampa Bay with how many stars that they have on this team. But you take into account what Green Bay has done so far this year. Green Bay, to a lot of people, might be the best team in the league so far. And they're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have had some good games, but a couple of really bad games, which I don't feel like we can go without talking about. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost last week to the Chicago Bears after Tom Brady forgot what down it was and just decided to throw a deep pass for no real reason on 4th down other than the fact that he thought it was 3rd down. So I don't know if that's him showing his age. I don't know if it's an honest mistake. Like, I really don't know what to make of that, but the Green Bay Packers just haven't been making those mistakes this year. So I honestly, when I had first looked at this pick and thought about who I was going to pick, I was going to go with Tampa Bay. And I know nobody can see it right now, but on my notepad, I actually do have Tampa Bay winning this one 31-30. But I'm changing it up. I'm going to keep that score, but I'm going to flip the teams. I'm going to have Green Bay winning this one 31-30 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, we both agree. I mean, I had Green Bay from the start after looking at this. I think Tampa can win it, yes, because at the end of the day, they have Tom Brady. And if you have Tom Brady, you have any chance to win. He's proven that not just in his career, he has proven that this season. I can't remember what game it was. I really don't remember what game it was. But he basically willed his team to come back. I think it was it wasn't last week, it was like 2 weeks ago, whoever they played, and he willed his team to win at 5 touchdowns.
Los Angeles, it was the Chargers.
Los Angeles, the Chargers, yeah, exactly. The Chargers were up in that game, and Tom Brady put that team on his back. Probably broke it because of age. But in all seriousness, I do have Green Bay win this one. Aaron Rodgers has no picks this season. He has I think he has 13 touchdowns, no picks. He is a surgeon with the football. Like, he is just amazing. I got Green Bay winning this one 32-24 because Aaron Rodgers is that much better than Tom Brady. And I think overall, the Green Bay Packers as a team are better than Tampa.
Just to clarify, when we say that Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady, we mean right now. I don't want everyone jumping in the comments being like, well, Tom Brady's got 6 rings. Yeah, we fucking get it, guys.
No.
Right now.
Aaron Rodgers right now is an MVP candidate. Tom Brady is not.
Okay, moving on to the Sunday night game. The San Francisco 49ers, who got embarrassed last week by the Miami Dolphins.
I think embarrass is an understatement.
Yeah, embarrass might be an understatement.
They got beat up.
They're going up against the Los Angeles Rams this week, who has played literally every team in the NFC East. So they've had an easy schedule so far this season. But I do think that they've done enough this season to prove that they might be a better team than San Francisco. Now, obviously, this is Seattle's division. They're going to win the division. I don't think there's too much debate about that. So I think right now, you're looking at the second and third best team in the division. And I think right now, LA has that slight edge over San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco is the same team that they were last year. Also, Jimmy Garoppolo got benched last week by his head coach in favor of Nick Mullins, I think his name is.
Was it him or Beathard or whoever it was?
Yeah, whoever it was. I'm going to go with the LA Rams on this one. 27-21 Rams over the Niners this week.
We have a trend, at least starting from week 4 till now, where we have like several game picks like really close in score, and it's honestly kind of scary how we get close. I am picking the Rams because yes, they beat up every team in NFC East. At the end of the day, I have the Rams winning this one because the injuries are more significant, I think, than at least I realize. Obviously we said how the JV team of the Niners beat up on the Jets and Giants. Those are the Jets and the Giants. So let's take that with a grain of salt. Now that they're facing like quality teams, the injuries really show. So I got the Rams winning this one 28-24 just because they're healthier and they're more complete because, again, they don't have as big of injuries that the Niners have.
The Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Buffalo Bills this week. Now, the Buffalo Bills have basically made Ben go 1-4 on his picks for them. Interesting. But
basically, yeah.
Last week, Buffalo did fail me. They got their first loss of the season. I don't fully blame them. They didn't have a single positive test, and their game got moved. So they went on just kind of short notice, and now they're going to be on short rest for this week as they had to play on a Tuesday. So I don't fully blame Buffalo. Their schedule kind of got screwed up because of something that wasn't really their fault. It was another team's fault. So kind of unlucky that they had to go up against Tennessee last week, and now on the short week they have to go up against one of the best teams in the league. So unlucky break for Buffalo. I'm not going to give them a sympathy pick though. Kansas City is a much better team. So I think Buffalo is going to play with some grit in this game just for the fact that they do have to play on the short rest. But obviously I'm going to go with Kansas City for this game. I have them winning 35-24 over Buffalo.
I think I have been the personified Buffalo hater, and honestly, I really couldn't give a single flying fuck. I don't care. I am hypercritical on Josh Allen because I really don't believe in Josh Allen. I don't care. Personally, I don't care. And they're playing a very talented and very high-powered Kansas City offense.
Who lost to Las Vegas, by the way?
That is true. That is very, very true. That did surprise me. But either way, I still got Kansas City winning this one 32-20 just because Buffalo this isn't really a hate on Buffalo. It's just that they got really unlucky with their schedules.
Okay, so as you all know, I am a huge New York Giants fan, and the New York Giants played the Dallas Cowboys last week, and I really wanted the Giants to win, but obviously they didn't get it done. But no matter how much of a Giants fan I am and how much I hate the Dallas Cowboys, nobody ever wants to see what happened to Dak Prescott happen. So
I agree.
I'm praying for Dak. I hope he gets better. I hope he gets back on the field soon. He was having an MVP caliber season. So I really do hate to see that. I'm never going to say anything bad about Dak when it comes to injury purposes, like hoping he gets injured. Like, obviously, when he plays the game, I'm going to hope that Dak doesn't play well because I don't like the Cowboys. But I never want to see that happen. So I don't want anyone thinking that I was rooting for him to get hurt or rooting for the fact that the Giants knocked him out of the game. Nobody wants to see that. That's horrible. If you think that way, I'm sorry. In my opinion, you're horrible. They do have Andy Dalton as their quarterback now as they go up against the Arizona Cardinals. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, I don't think that's going to be good enough to beat Arizona. I do think with this injury, it kind of hands the NFC East torch to Philly, telling them that it's basically their division to lose, even though Dallas technically does have the lead in this division. But all that aside, thoughts and prayers go out to Dak Prescott. Hopefully he gets better. But I will pick the Arizona Cardinals in this one, 28-10 over the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm with you. Obviously, I can't stand Dallas with a burning passion. I've never liked Dallas. I never will. But watching that play with Dak, it really, I've seen a lot of gruesome injuries. The ones that come to mind are Paul George,
Gordon Hayward,
just to name a few. Paul George, Gordon Hayward,
Kevin Ware, I think was the Louisville guy.
Kevin Ware for Louisville. That one I watched live. Yep, those ones really kind of that you just look at it and it shakes you as
Alex
a person.
Smith.
Alex,
I keep thinking
we
of
just talked about Alex. Yeah, we just talked about Alex Smith. I should have, because we brought him up beginning with Washington. You see those kind of injuries and my heart goes out to Dak and his family. Dak has a terrible year. He lost his brother. He talked about, his depression and all that kind of stuff. He's had a really bad year, and I really feel for him and his family. I hope he gets back. I hope he gets healthy. I really hope that he's able to come back from this, because he was having a very underrated year. But at the end of the day, it's still football, and we had to look at it from that perspective. Dallas defense still isn't that great. I'm not sure how Andy Dalton will do. He's the best backup in the league. You could argue, so I guess it's good that they did sign him. But I got Arizona winning this one 30. I'm actually changing it. I actually had it 30-20. I'm actually changing it now to 30-17, because I do think that Dallas's offense is going to struggle a lot because they lost their franchise quarterback. And again, Nick said it. I'm saying it again. Our thoughts and prayers are up with Dak and his family, and hope that he has a speedy recovery, and hopefully he's able to play football back at a high level like he was doing this season.
Okay, moving on to our 2-point conversions, and I'm going to go back to that Kansas City and Buffalo game. This is a game between two teams that I could see in the AFC Championship game. Now, obviously, my prediction is that it's going to be Kansas City and Baltimore. But Buffalo is one of those teams that I could see making a run late in the year. And these are two teams that I think at this moment, and I know you don't think the same, but I think at this moment, both of these teams have the skill set to make it to the AFC Championship game. Now, obviously, Kansas City is a better team, and if they do make it to that point, I think Kansas City would win that game. But these are easily, and I don't think this one is much of a debate, and no matter how much you hate Josh Allen, I think these are the two strongest arm quarterbacks going up against each other in the league.
I can agree with that.
I don't think there's one quarterback that I would put above Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes having a stronger arm. So I do think that the two of them combined are going to put up a lot of yards, and with yards comes touchdowns. So for my 2-point conversion, I think Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to combine for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I mean, I'm not even going to try and argue. Much as I hate on Josh Allen, I do recognize talent. I'm going back to the last game on Monday night with Arizona and Dallas. I got Kyler Murray, who, again, is going against Dallas defense that really doesn't have much. I was close to doing the 5-5 like I did with Russell Wilson, but I stepped back a little bit, but I added something extra to make up for it. I think he will have over 450 plus total yards, so that's passing and rushing, 5 touchdowns, and because I went a little less on yards, he will also have no turnovers. That means he will not lose. If he fumbles it but gets it back and doesn't turn the ball over, that's different. If he doesn't throw up here, that's that. But he will have no turnovers, 450 plus total yards, and 5 total touchdowns.
Hope you enjoy these picks. They still are the most popular segment on my channel besides the Phasmophobia games I've been playing, and I do have some more of those videos coming out. Also, I think it's important for me to note, I know I haven't done the defensive challenge for the Madden 99 club, and there's a reason for that, because I started it off doing it with Aaron Donald, and all 3 of his things, like the sack, fumble, and interception, took me 100 attempts. So I'm pretty sure Stephon Gilmore would have beaten him. So we're just going to go ahead and name Stephon Gilmore the defensive 99 club champion. But there is one more person who has just recently been added to the Madden 99 club, and that is none other than Russell Wilson. He has, in the latest update, he has been added to the Madden 99 club and given the 99 rating that he deserves. So hopefully soon I will be getting out a video of Russell Wilson going through the gauntlet and seeing if he can beat Michael Thomas, the total amount of attempts that Michael Thomas had, because as you know, Michael Thomas did win the offensive challenges. So, but stick around for these picks. Once again, the score so far is 50-48, me over Ben. We only had one game differing this week, so it's going to come down to those 2-point conversions, and maybe if Ben can get a score or if he does get that 1 point that we did differ on. But it's going to stay close no matter what. So guys, please stay tuned. Ben, is there anything you want to say before we leave?
Thank you, Dan Quinn, for your service. Adam Gase, you're next.
He better be. I swear to God, I cannot believe I didn't get that 2-point conversion. But guys, have a great one. Peace.